Hello and welcome to the Silver King's War. I'm Michael Sievers, the writer, producer, and creator of this podcast series about my father's Second World War as a B-26 bombardier. Today we continue with the Silver King's letters from Santa Ana, California. He's training at the Santa Ana Army Air Base as he continues to prepare for bombardier school. Stanley writes to his family on Friday, June 18, 1943, Dearest Ones, I didn't write yesterday as I was just too tired. I was in bed and asleep long before the lights went out, and I felt exceedingly better this morning as a result. I guess it will take about a week before I get used to it again. We moved into a new squadron today, so you'll note the change in address. From now, you will write me to Squadron 81 of the Bombardier Navigation School. You see, the navigators go to the same pre-flight as do the bombardiers, thus the joint name. I've been here a week today, and it seems more like a month. The time can't pass fast enough for me. The sooner I get out of here, the better. The 3 weeks will officially be up 2 weeks from this coming Wednesday, as that was the day we started classes. So I guess, all in all, I'll be here about 3 more weeks. The quarantine will be over next Friday, providing the measles don't break out. We should be having an open post next Saturday and Sunday. Believe me, I've never looked forward to an open post as much as I am to this one. About 4 of us are going to paint Hollywood red, white, and blue. And I don't mind telling you I'm going to get plastered. I think I'd give a month's pay for a good stiff drink right now. At this writing, I'm holding down the big job of fire guard. I went on tonight at 6 and will go off tomorrow night at 6. It really doesn't amount to much. All I do is sit in the barracks all day, watching and guarding against fire. It really is a day of rest, and I don't have to meet any formations. Just sit on my fanny. The hardest part will be staying awake. I'm happy to report I'm immune to the, quote, desert fever, end quote. It's a relief not to have to take shots. Be sure to let me know when you receive the bond for the month of May. I'm not sure, but I think my payroll was screwed up. I got more money than I should have. Not that I'm complaining. I hope you're well and taking care of yourselves right soon. And don't be too lonesome. Love to Ida. I love you and miss you, Stan. As our hero makes clear in his writing, he's really bored and ready to hit the town and see what Hollywood is like, as he writes on Saturday, June 19th, 1943. Dearest Ones, received both of your letters this morning and was so happy to hear from you. The airmail service isn't bad at all. It was surely a shock to learn of Mr. B's new illness. That man has really suffered. It's a relief that he has passed the crisis. I know Cece, Leona, and Lee must be wrecks. It's so hard on them when he is sick. I wrote Leona a long letter today. I hope it doesn't make her sick. You needn't send the tie and socks. I have plenty as it is. Thanks just the same. It has gotten very hot here, but I don't feel it as much. There's a continuous breeze all day, and early in the morning it's really cold. My face is peeling from sunburn and windburn. It isn't a very pretty sight. It's been swell sitting here in the barracks all day relaxing and listening to the radio. I'm going to be busy tomorrow morning, however. I was unfortunate enough to pull interior guard from 8 to 12:30. That means I'll be carrying a rifle and walking post for 4.5 hours. I guess it could be worse, but I had been looking forward to sleeping all day. Of course, it could have happened next Sunday when I have open post, and that would have been drastic. As soon as my quarantine is up, I'll look up this guy, Jerry Levy. I haven't the slightest idea where to start. I wish I knew what rank he held. That would help some. That's about all the news. I'll write you again tomorrow, and don't be too lonesome. Take care and keep well. Love to Ida. I love you and miss you, Stan. Stanley is more than ready for his open post, as he had described walking guard duty for 4.5 hours. And he writes to his family on Monday, June 21st, 1943. Dearest Ones, it was swell hearing from you today, and to especially receive such a swell card from you, Dad. That was very sweet. I'll have to save it for my scrapbook. I also received a letter from Leona today. She wrote it from the hospital. She's probably chasing to and from again. It certainly puts a strain on her. I guess she wrote the same to you. Mr. B must surely be suffering. I doubt if he'll ever be the same after this. From what she writes, he doesn't want to live. I can just imagine what Cece is going through. I'd like to write her a letter, but I just don't feel capable of it. I only hope it doesn't make her sick. Yesterday was really rough. I wanted to write you, but didn't have the energy left. Guard duty lasted until 1:30. As always, the relief was late, and believe me, that 14-pound rifle felt more like a 10-ton truck. My fanny was practically dragging the ground when I got back to the barracks. I stretched out on my bunk to read the paper and was asleep in about 5 minutes. Then at 3:30, I had to get up again to parade. On Sunday afternoon, the entire Corps of Cadets parade for a retreat. It's a sight to see, but not to participate in. I had to stand in the hot sun for 2 hours. Now you know why I was so tired at the end of the day. I'm supposed to get open post next weekend. That is, if I don't have any tours to walk. I've got my fingers crossed, too, as today I was gigged 3 times. The cadet officers gave us a personal inspection. My gigs were for haircut, dirty belt, and dirty brass. From the looks of things, I won't get to see L.A. after all. Here's a good one. All the insignias you sewed on my shirts must come off. This command doesn't permit the wear of them, while in Nashville I was supposed to wear them. That's how screwed up the Army is. Everything is so unpredictable. Another thing, I won't be sent back to the Southeast any time soon, so don't build up hopes. I'll be in the Pacific Command for my entire training. Maybe after I get my commission, I'll head back that way. Write soon and take care of yourselves. It's too bad I didn't get to meet Frank's nephew. I hope he gets through. And don't be too lonesome. Love to Ida. I love you and miss you, Stan. The image of our hero, the Silver King, walking a tour with a 14-pound rifle, which was approaching almost 10% of his body weight, is a remarkable thought, and one that he, of course, wants to forget. And he writes on Tuesday, June 22nd, 1943, Dearest Ones, received all of 4 letters from you today. It was really a field day for me. There's nothing better than to hear from you. I appreciate so much you writing so often. It's the one thing I have to look forward to. It was the same old routine today. Classes are as boring as ever, and the math and physics are way over my head. The material I am covering is a continuation of the courses at Maxwell. so it's all new stuff for me, and it has me baffled. Thank the Lord, it's not of such great importance. The truth came out that we aren't even supposed to be here. Consequently, the classes are to keep us busy until it's time to ship, which I hope isn't far off. Calisthenics is a picnic compared to what I went through at Maxwell. There isn't any of that long-distance running, just exercises and games. Lucky thing for me, as I'm afraid I couldn't stand more. I'm looking forward to a big weekend. The gig I got yesterday for a haircut was canceled as they figured I didn't have time to get one. And they are right, too. Anyhow, my chances of getting off without tours is much better now. I've got good intentions of visiting all the clubs you mentioned. The money I won on the train is going to show me a good time. I'll call Harold if I have any spare time. From what you say, the heat there must be terrible. It's gotten hot here, too, but it doesn't bother me at all. There seems to be a breeze blowing all day. This California weather isn't bad after all. I'll try to find this Jerry Levy as soon as the quarantine is lifted. The medical officer made his rounds again today, and so far everything is okay. We should be out Friday. Be sure to keep me posted as to Mr. B's condition. I surely hope he pulls through. Keep well and take care. Love to Ida. I love you and miss you, Stan. This is the end of Santa Ana Letters Part 2, as our hero, the Silver King, prepares for a big weekend in Los Angeles. His winnings on the train ride west are large enough to fulfill his hopes for a big ride and big dreams. And you are listening to the Silver King's War.